The title of this unit is Solving Equations and Inequalities and How They Are All Connected. These are the standards for college algebra, but what I would like to remind you of is that we're using the secondary standards of the 10 key practices to help them develop what they need in real life. Now, the big idea is the essential understandings for solving equations and inequalities. But here are the enduring understandings that you can apply a variety of strategies and methods when solving problems, not just in math. That there's always a special language, vocabulary, symbols. We even know that as adults, the way the kids use their texting lingo in Snapchat, and we have no clue what they're saying. Various representations can be as vital as words, and that reasoning and justifying things is important in life. So here's all the rest of our essential questions, our KUDs, but I'd like to get straight to the backward design, which is the performance assessment. And I've put it here on a spreadsheet as a student choice board, and I know it's very small, so I'm going to go ahead and get it back to where you can see it. But there's 3 rows and 3 columns. The first row, they have to choose one from each row. It doesn't matter if they go vertically the same or go diagonal. No tic-tac-toe. Just one from the top, one from the middle, one from the bottom. These first 3 at the top are all about critical thinking. It is extremely hard at this level of mathematics to find applications that actually apply to their real life, because it is such a specified, detailed thing. So here, this is about critical thinking about the things that they have done. The second row, oops, there we go. The middle row is about analytical thinking. Can they use reverse engineering if they're given a solution? Can they figure out what equation got it? You know, backwards reverse engineering. This one is more about analytical thinking, about noticing why these things happened and why we should check for extraneous solutions. And then the last row is guiding students to learn an informal way to prove with algebra. When you get into the higher mathematics, you find out that we need to prove using algebra instead of what you might have done in geometry. And this is a great introduction to algebraic proof. Now at the bottom, here's how they turn it in. They should have 3 problems done. And let's see if I can get this where you can see it. And so what I have here is a 4-point scale, how many points based on what they provide. I prefer a 4-point scale because it reminds me of standards-based grading. It's similar to the GPA. It also reminds me of the 4 levels on the EOC: below basic, basic, proficient, advanced. It also requires me to really look at and pay attention to the evidence the student is providing, instead of just saying, oh, they're right or they're wrong. And not being allowing for wiggle room with 0.5s. Boy, that is hard. But it really requires me to look at the evidence they provide. Now, the overall scoring guide here is the rubric that the students will get. In the Building Thinking Classrooms in Mathematics, on page 212, it said, it is the goal to find a rubric that can be used to increase thinking behavior. And those thinking behaviors are perseverance, collaboration, and willingness to take risks. So you'll notice, I know it's a 4x3, but the top row is just comparing, seeing how they did on their work on the previous page. Here is where it gets really big. Representation and communication and concepts. You'll notice that perseverance, collaboration, and willingness to take risks goes from fully meets expectations to exceeds expectations. You'll notice that here, if you're at a 3 or at fully meets, to get to be exceeds, you want to clear up your details right there. And that you want to make sure your visuals have no flaws. Here, down under concepts, offer alternatives, and that should say may. So not only did they go and get all the concepts, is there anything they could offer as an alternative? Striving for efficiency. We know sometimes they take the long route to get to a conclusion. Here we're trying to say, great, how could we make it better? And then finally, um, clearing up the minor errors and working to thorough. The last thing I want to have you notice here is that the book suggests when we hand back kids with a score on the rubric, they ignore the rubric altogether and just look at their score. So they suggest we do this for our grade book. But when we hand back our grading, all we have done is highlighted where they fell in the rubric so that their focus is on, oh, I may be here. I wonder what I could have done to get to here, instead of just saying, oh, my grade is a C. Oh, my grade is a B. So that is my performance evidence.